Welcome back, everyone, to episode 2 in our latest playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4. We are the nation of Austria-Hungary, and we are playing with the latest DLC. We have all of the downloadable content available on this particular playthrough. It's November 1939. I was in the process of building up toward invading Czechoslovakia, and then we went and joined a new faction with Germany, the Central European Alliance, and Czechoslovakia is a part of it, so I can't really go after them now. So we're going to have to look for other ways to expand. I'm thinking maybe Yugoslavia. There is a pretty major war going on between some of the communist states and other parts of the world. You have this one here with the Soviet Socialist Republic basically taking on the UK and their Commonwealth, and of course the Soviet Union, which is a separate entity that is fighting against them as part of the Soviet Civil War. You also have a war here with the Kingdom of Romania, the SSSR, Yugoslavia, and Greece against some of those same players. So I think all of those are going to go against the SSR, which means the Soviet Union is going to probably win that civil war. So we'll see what happens. Right now we are working on mobile focus, but there are some other things we can do over here. Once we hit 200,000 manpower in our divisions, we could claim Transylvania. So maybe we can go after Romania as our next step. We'll see. Well, no sooner had I paused than Germany finds itself in a war, and they are calling us to that war effort against the SSSR and the Republic of... we're with the SSSR and Galicia against Spain, the Soviet Union, and Ethiopia. Oh boy. I don't know. Really not ready to get into another war yet, but all right, we'll go ahead and do it. So it looks like we could go ahead and do total mobilization now, so let's go ahead and make that happen. That'll help a lot. Still, our issue right now is and has been manpower. So we're going to go ahead and go to service by requirement. We're going to ramp this thing up. We've got to start getting some serious manpower going because we've got enough production for the equipment that we are currently making, except for trucks. We're a little behind on trucks, but otherwise we're doing pretty good on all that. So hopefully this change is going to start ramping up that manpower. We've got to get the army over 200,000 so we can start going after Romania. Now we got to be careful though, because if we invade Romania, then the Soviet Union has a path to get at us, because we are at war with the Soviet Union, and right now they can't get to us. So Denmark has joined our alliance, Norway has joined our alliance, and Sweden has joined our alliance. Poland has joined the Allies. So how does that affect everything? Let's take a look for a second. Our war here, you can see significant manpower advantage for us. People's Republic of Spain has been basically wiped out in this war. The Soviet Union, of course, looks like the SSSR, which is on our side, is just barely hanging on. But us being on their side might be enough to keep them in this thing, because now the Soviet Union's got some new enemies to deal with up here. Let's look at the faction map. So you see the Allies. We've got Britain, Italy, and Poland. French Commune is there, along with, it looks like, I guess they're not in anything at the moment. Central European Alliance is literally a Central European Alliance right now. National focus, we are not quite where we need to be to get the 200,000. If we get another division in the field, let's see. That puts us over 200, but that's not in the field. That includes what's in training. I don't know if that works or not for this. No, it's got to be actually in the field. Claim Galicia, we can't for the same reasons. So it's we're gonna have to do one more other focus before we can go for that. Synthetic industry might be where we go. Although I might go for some Air Force designs here. Okay, now things just got a lot more interesting. Italy just declared war on us, and I've got all of my troops over on the Romanian border. So we're going to have to rapidly redeploy onto the Italian border, get all of our troops over there. I did just bring into the field a number of new divisions. including my first armored divisions. So we're going to rush them over there. I now have 202,000 in the field, but of course, the UK just jumped in against us, along with all of their dominions and those that we call the Commonwealth today. So yeah, this just got a lot more interesting in terms of the war. Germany wants to help in our war effort, so they're joining. So we've basically got ourselves World War II now, with pretty similar battle lines to what we saw in the past, except of course Italy being on the opposite side, and of course most of the Scandinavian countries being on our side. So we'll see if we can rush over there and get on the line. Doesn't look like Italy's actually moving across the line at the moment, so they're going to allow me to get into position. Oh, and there goes Yugoslavia. Italy declared war on the French Commune, so they just declared war on France. Now Yugoslavia's in the war. We've got a non-aggression pact with Yugoslavia, so Italy just got their hands full. They just opened up a war with everybody on their border except Switzerland. They're going to war with France, Austria-Hungary, and Yugoslavia. So I feel like that's not going to go particularly well for Italy. Let's go ahead and start our atomic research. The French Commune joined Germany. As we all expected, Germany and France on the same side in the war. Man, this is getting more intense by the minute. So here's what we have now. We've got People's Republic of Spain, which is basically out of this. Soviet Union, Italy, the UK, Australia, Canada, etc., and Poland on one side. You've got, and I'm going to call everybody here, Austria-Hungary, Galicia, Germany, Nationalist Spain, Czechoslovakia, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, France, Yugoslavia, the Soviet Socialist Republic, Greece, and Romania on the other. So Romania is actually on our side in all of this now. So the war has gone completely different than I expected it to. We do have a little bit of a manpower buildup now. We're still getting our unit. Switzerland joined the Confederation, has joined. So now Italy is at war with all 4 of her neighbors that she borders. Interesting. So once we get into position and we can launch an attack, we will do that. Of course, we're going to be fighting in the mountains, and we know historically from the real World War I just how difficult the fighting was here, and all the fighting that went on in the Alps, especially like along the Isonzo River. Just brutal fighting that took place. We want to be careful because we don't have much of an army yet. Let me take a look here at my air power. I don't have a lot of air power, but we'll go ahead and move what we've got into position and start fighting in the Alpine region. Man, literally everyone is joining this war. This is going to be crazy. So we're told that we have a vastly inferior enemy here, so we're going to go ahead, even though I just moved into position, and start launching an attack, because we have a lot of help from allies on all sides. Even Switzerland's moving into northern Italy. So it's really only a matter of time. There's no way Italy is going to be able to hold up against all of this. I think they're really regretting their choice to go to war right now. We do have a limited supply of oil. Germany has called Belgium as our ally. Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and Dutch East Indies also joined the war along with them. Imperium Romanum. Japan declared war on the Dutch East Indies. So what's the faction situation now? Imperium Romanum is looks like Italy, Bulgaria. We've got Libya, which of course is owned by Italy. Not much else. So fighting, of course, on the Polish border. I'm not really involved in that. I've got my entire small army down here at the moment. Obviously, we're not in a position now to do anything about Romania, so our options are somewhat limited here. I guess we're just going to mainly focus on our military for the time being. Alright, so it looks like we're starting to make progress on the front here with Italy. We are taking some casualties. Latvia, the U.S. just joined the United Kingdom. So the United States has just jumped in on the war on the side of the UK. So that's something to keep an eye on, obviously, because we got an opponent we weren't expecting there. Kingdom of Livonia is already down by half. They're going to be out of this thing before we know it. So we need to try and deal with Italy as quickly as we can. Oh boy, look at all those people who just jumped in on the new war. China wants a non-aggression pact. We've got about 207,000 in the field right now. Let's take a look at losses. We've lost 6,000 so far. It's not too bad, honestly. You see here, we've inflicted almost 10,000 casualties on Polish forces, despite them only inflicting 52 on us. So that's very, very helpful to see. I would guess most of what we're seeing is Italy. We've inflicted 5,000 casualties on Italian forces, and we've lost 6,000 to them. So a little more even with them right now. Benito Mussolini has been deposed by Italy's Grand Council of Fascism. Kingdom of Greece, yeah, that's fine. We've got a second army that we're starting to build up now, so I've got a field marshal now in overall command of those two armies. We're going to go with charismatic. I like that. Offensive doctrine, definitely. And then we're going to start pushing toward Rome if we can. Hopefully that'll knock Italy out of this thing. Let's see where we're at right now. We've only lost 11,000 in the entire war so far, which is really pretty remarkable when you think about it. And you can see the manpower is pretty even. The losses are pretty even on both sides. China's gotten involved on this thing now as well. Looks like a pretty static front for the most part over here in the east. Well, I guess Germany probably has made some inroads there. Once we knock Italy out of the war, we might be able to move over and help out on the Eastern Front, but we do have to watch for the U.S. to show up somewhere at some point. German forces advancing on Poland have captured Warsaw, and with that, Poland has capitulated. So there's one less opponent. We are making strong moves toward Rome. I think Rome will probably fall in the summer of 1940 at some point here. We've only got 28 divisions making this attack. Let's see if we get now. We don't have any others that we're able to get in there right now. We've still just got 49 factories. I think we can cut back a little bit on infantry equipment in favor of tanks. I do need to upgrade my air research a little bit here at some point in the near future. What are we working on right now? Mostly on things related to armor. Kingdom of Italy declared war on Italy. So Italy's got a civil war. They've got a fight going on here for the heart of their own country. That should only make things go faster for us. I think we're going to get Rome here pretty soon and knock them out of this thing. All right, Livonia capitulated. The Suez Canal has been blown up, so that happened. And it looks like Austro-Hungarian and Swiss forces are about to take Rome. So let's go ahead and watch that happen. Looks like we're going to be first into Rome. He's going to load everything he's got into defending that, but it's not going to matter. We're pushing the whole front forward, and Rome has fallen. We've got some new doctrines available here. And let's look at national focus now. Let's go after light fighter effort next. What, no notification about... There it is. Forces from France. It was not France. There are no French forces there. That is a Austro-Hungarian division that is in France. I don't see any French forces anywhere nearby. Austro-Hungarian forces took Rome. Don't you even think about lying about that. Okay, we have marched all the way down the Italian peninsula. Looks like we're going to probably have to invade Sicily to knock them out. We just don't seem to be taking enough points. Well, yeah, there's Livonia, there's Italy there. They're at 78%. We've got to go a bit further. So it looks like the Swiss are going to take the lead. We'll let them go ahead after Sicily. Soviet Socialist Republic wants a non-aggression pact. What percentage are we contributing to this right now? Only 3%. Germany is at 23%. Yugoslavia is at 20% in terms of contribution. So we're going to have to do more. So we've got some Italian divisions holed up down here at the end, and it looks like we're about to destroy them. We have Lend-Lease coming from Switzerland. So it looks like France gets to control most of that, at least for the time being. Some German and Swiss divisions have made their way into Sicily. I think once they take Palermo, that'll probably be it. Italy is fighting in Africa as well. There it is. Italy's out. So what do we get out of this? Probably not very much, honestly. Would very much like to get... Yeah, those states there would actually be a nice start. I don't know if we'll be able to get more than that. Looks like that's probably all we can ask for at the moment. Contested. Who's contesting it? I demand it. Yugoslavia is demanding it. And Regno de Sud, is that like southern region, I guess, taking it. I'm going to demand it. I guess you probably kind of like basically auction for this. I could go after Trentino instead, but it looks like Yugoslavia wants that one too. So it's a contested bid now. This is one of the new features that we have. Looks like I cannot. All right, submit it. I did get it. Okay. All right, so we're doing all right. We've gotten some more territory here. What else can we go after? I doubt we're going to get Venice. That's a pretty big ask right there. Where's Zadar? Northern Epirus. I'm trying to find something else that actually borders me here. There's not a lot of options at the moment. There's really not anything else I could go after. I wanted some of this territory here so I could have gotten sea base, but I guess that's not going to happen. So I think we're going to exit. There's really not anything else that we're going to go after at this point. So Hungarian Italy is right here. That's a really fascinating name for a nation to exist, especially since I'm Austria-Hungary. Looks like Yugoslavia got most of this. They spent a lot of points on all of that. France got all the African territory, but Libya was actually freed as a nation. So that's where things stand. We are still at war, primarily with the Soviet Union, with the UK and their allies, and of course the United States and Japan. Okay, so we can gain some claims on Krakow, Stanislaw, and Laval. I don't know how much it matters right now, since we're already at war with them, but we'll go ahead and claim Galicia anyway. I'm not sending my troops over to get involved right now. It looks like they're doing a pretty effective job. Moscow is going to fall pretty soon. Let's see how the Soviet Union's doing. They're about down by half. And the SSR is still in pretty bad shape, but they haven't really gone down any further. The war basically at this point is Europe against everybody else. As you can see here, it's all of Europe is pretty much united. You've got the UK opposing us, and of course the Soviet Union, British Raj, Japan, Australia, South Africa, and the United States and Canada. So that's basically what we're dealing with. All right, we're going to move in and start helping out with this war. I want to get some war score going here, so we're going to send them in. We're going to go try and help with the push towards Stalingrad, which you can see is in imminent danger of falling to German forces who are just making kind of this pinprick thrust towards Stalingrad. We're going to help move a larger front forward into that same area. See if we can't help end this thing. Soviet Union's down by half, so taking places like Moscow and Stalingrad should help tremendously with ending this war. I don't know why the Germans look like they're going all the way to the sea here. Caspian Sea? Is that the Caspian Sea? I think it is. Okay, here comes the push for Stalingrad. Don't appear to have a lot of opposition at the moment. Although it is taking a while to get everybody moved into positions, probably because it's October. We're getting into the worst time to be in a land war in Asia.
PJ.
We do have some new units that are getting into the field now. We are at 300,000 available manpower and about 264,000 in the field. So significant increase since we got involved in these wars. And I think Stalingrad should fall pretty soon. I don't know if Moscow has fallen yet. We haven't gotten any notification that it has, but it's getting awfully close. Casualty-wise, we've only lost 80 men so far. Probably haven't inflicted that many either. But Stalingrad and Moscow will fall probably by the end of the year. Well, it looks like the Romanians may get to Stalingrad first, though. There are some Germans that are sitting right down here where they could absolutely get there if they chose to, but I don't think they're going that direction right now. Oh man, we have not researched artillery at all. So let's work on that a little bit. But Stalingrad's about to fall. Moscow's getting surrounded, and there are some Czechoslovakian divisions that are currently attacking Moscow. So I think both of those are going to fall probably in November. And then we'll see where the Soviet Union is at that point, because they're at 79% toward capitulation. They lose two major cities like Stalingrad and Moscow. That may be enough to end this thing. I'm desperately trying to move my troops down there, but supply is just non-existent right now. So I'm just really not moving anywhere. Looks like they're going to get all the way around Moscow and not actually take it right now. Okay, so Stalingrad has fallen. Moscow is still being surrounded, and 86% toward capitulation. There's some other major cities that may fall soon as well. Yaroslavl is right there. Some others. I need to start working on oil processing because I'm having a real problem with oil at the moment. Concentrated Industry 4 is about to be done, as well as small airframe. We can use some of our air experience to design some better fighters. I'm mostly just concentrating on fighters right now. I'm not doing too much with other kinds of air units. Moscow has fallen to, I'm not sure who exactly. I think probably the Czechoslovakian forces. That puts them at 98% toward capitulation. So really just any one of these other victory points is going to be enough to do it. And I think the Soviets have basically collapsed. They have very few divisions right now. They've lost 1 million men total. 99% there, so they're almost there. Let's go back to research some of these other components for planes before we go designing new fighters. I'm just waiting to see the Soviet Union fall. There it is. The Soviet Union has fallen. I don't think I really have any points. So there's not really anything I can do here. I'm just going to drop out of that one and see how things unfold. Nationalist Spain took 13 states. SSSR took 138 states. So they basically took over the Soviet Union. Looks like Romania got a little bit. We are still at war, though. It's not letting me look at the war, though. So we've got an American-German war and a British-German war right now. So we can take one more look at the map now, and you can see that's a big enemy off the board. So now we're basically dealing with an Anglo-American alliance. And then the associated... Basically, it's an English-speaking world, plus China, plus India. So, I mean, still, we're dealing with the two most populous nations on Earth, plus Japan, against this European alliance of Germany, France, Spain, Austria-Hungary, Italy. Of course, Italy doesn't exist. Yugoslavia. Hopefully the SSSR will join at some point on our side and not on the enemy side. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right there. It's a good stopping point, and we'll come back in a few days and see what happens next. Please hit that like button if you would. Thanks for watching.